somewhere there's a light inside of us. It chose the way. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why, this ain't no madness. The smoke in the mirrors are memories, now the sun's gone down. Like a river rushing way up above. This ain't no sugar-coated love. This ain't no sugar-coated love. This ain't no sugar-coated love. I stay in bed, I still got the feeling that you're next to me. Stuck in my head when lights go off. You're everything that I could ever want. Your touch so soft. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all that I need.
Hi, and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Currier, and it is my mission to simplify YouTube so you and I can grow together. Welcome, everybody, to a special edition of our weekly live stream. Got some a little drama going on in the YouTube community we're going to talk about tonight, but if you happen to be new to the live stream, we do this every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, with the goal of simplifying YouTube. We answer any questions you might have as creators regarding YouTube or your channel, and then we just talk about what's going on with the YouTube community. And we got a hot one tonight, so it's going to be a little bit different conversation than normal because we have a little situation out there that could potentially be of impact to us as creators. So I wanted to open the conversation to you guys and see what you thought about the situation. If you're even aware that it's going on, I definitely want to hear from you. But we do this every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you are new and you want to see future content that can help you simplify YouTube, consider clicking that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you don't miss future content. So we're going to jump in the chat, say hello to everybody. But I made this change at the last moment because I think this is an important topic. In terms of how it affects YouTube, how social media and calls to have certain things happen to other creators are treated by YouTube, as well as the social media community. So I think it's definitely something worth talking about. We will do our best to have that conversation in a very peaceful way. I know there's a lot of emotion out there on both sides of this topic, so I definitely want to make sure that we keep it civil, but it is an interesting conversation. So going to jump in the chat and say hello to everybody. And I saw some familiar faces out there. Saw some people who mentioned they were new. Captain Mario Dude, we have Sam the Legend, and I'm going to fix this pop-out chat right here. We'll throw this down here so it's a lot easier to look at, so I'm not staring off into the abyss. Got Doug Houston out there, Kevin Boston 7, Dream Allures, JB the Pro. Let's see, is it Marcelin, Dream Allures? Hello, you poo. All right. Harley's out there as well. Central Florida Prepper, Video Zeus. Who else is hanging out with us tonight? Patty Broussard, good to see you. Gma Lolly, good to see you as well. Interesting. Haven't heard anything back. Okay, so here's the situation. We've got two different issues at play here. This kind of all blew up or has blown up on Twitter and YouTube. You have a person in Steven Crowder who is a conservative comedy talk show host. He has a show on YouTube called Louder with Crowder. Definitely a fringe guy who has kind of crude humor and not really a fan of everything he does. Some of the stuff he does is all right, but he had kind of got into this back and forth with a writer for VOX, who basically they've both been going back and forth with each other, and then I believe his name is Carlos. I don't want to mispronounce his name, but um, we'll get it. We'll get it so we don't misrepresent the person. Let's see here. Was actually on today's Philip DeFranco show. If you guys watched that as well, but basically this writer complained to YouTube at Team YouTube on Twitter. They did a review of his channel and said that the stuff that he said that was offensive to this individual, while it was offensive, it didn't violate any policy. And hey, let's see here. We're going to grab Vox Ad Apocalypse, as it's being called by some people out there. All right. So the guy's name is Carlos Maza or Maza. He is a writer for Vox, and he basically went on this campaign to say that Steven Crowder in his show was harassing him, and he's been harassing him. He put this video clip together of all these cases where Steven Crowder made comments or insults about Carlos. And then there was this 4-tweet response from YouTube that said, hey, we reviewed all this stuff. Yeah, we don't agree with it, but it doesn't violate any policies, which caused Carlos to then go on Twitter and basically call to everybody in the community to fight back and complain and et cetera, et cetera. And then YouTube came back and announced that they had demonetized the Louder with Crowder channel. So it's definitely an interesting story, a lot of emotion on both sides, but I think it's one worth talking about carefully because it's definitely something that gets people fired up. Let's see. Anybody out here is familiar with this particular story? Regina's Hair Salon, hello to you too. We've got Joe Games out there traveling down the banister. Good to see everybody. TR President. Sam, I am the legend. My channel, I've decided to have one channel instead of having 3 channels. I can see where that'd be a lot easier to manage. And my cat is climbing on my gear shelf. That's always a good thing. All right. Dream Allures, haven't heard anything about it. It literally, so the demonetization notice came out today. So it's a pretty fresh story. It seems to be kind of circling in the more the political realms because it's kind of conservative versus liberal, and a lot of people try to avoid those conversations because they never end well. But because the end result was a channel being demonetized based on the complaints that somebody posted on Twitter, I thought it was worth having a conversation about. See what you guys think about it, and let me know whether or not you're concerned about this type of activity, especially after YouTube did, well, they claimed they did a thorough investigation of his channel and came back and said there was nothing to see here, and then they came back and said, nope, just kidding, he's demonetized. All right. A lot of channels are getting demonetized. This is Vox versus YouTube. So Sometimes it's concerning if it's just, let's see, Central Florida Prepper. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the hard work, bro. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It definitely goes a long way to help out the channel. Covers all of those trips out to the conferences to bring back all the good stuff. Doug Houston, I don't get it. Demonetized for what? So basically, he Steven Crowder is definitely somebody who kind of tiptoes on the edge. But he does a talk show, but it's intended to be a comedy talk show. Not all of it's funny. Um, some of it, a lot of people would consider offensive. Anytime we get into that area, it's always like, is it offensive? Is it free speech? Is it harming anybody? But the thing that I found that was kind of hypocritical in this sense is that Carlos is the guy who started this, and he basically claimed that Steven Crowder was making homophobic and racist comments against him, uh, and uh, and that is why they should do something against his channel. Carlos's Twitter profile actually says Tucker Carlson is a white supremacist. So he's like the opposite version of Steven Crowder, but yet he threw a big fuss to get Steven Crowder to stop saying the kind of things that he says about the. It's just a mess. It just doesn't make any sense how social media works. I have a question. I made an unboxing vid today, and I made a thumbnail of a woman sitting on a sofa with an X-Acto knife cutting a box open with unboxing sticker on top left corner. Okay. That's not a question yet. Keep going until that's a question. Doug Houston. So okay. So bottom line is, do advertisers want to have ads shown on their video? I would imagine the answer would be yes in some regards, because ads were on their videos up until this public display of outrage was whipped up by this individual. KRDP, my question is, would this be considered clickbait? It would be considered clickbait if the person that you put in your thumbnail, aka the woman with the X-Acto knife, is not the woman who's doing the unboxing. So if you went out and found that picture just because you thought the woman with the X-Acto knife would get you more clicks, and she's not in the video, then yes, that's clickbait, and not the good kind of clickbait. You wouldn't want to do that. The Mr. L, what do you think about VOX? I honestly don't have an opinion about VOX because I'm not really familiar with their content. I find Carlos to be a bit of a hypocrite, just considering he literally has libel in his Twitter profile, but yet he's complaining that somebody else is picking on him. It just seems hypocritical. If it was somebody who was minding their own business and somebody was picking on him, I'm not a fan of bullies. I would definitely say go after him. But the fact that he is literally doing the same kind of stuff to people that he's complaining that the other guy's doing, I don't see this as legitimate. I think he's just using the power of his following to create a buzz and to force. Basically, it's cancel culture. It's, if I'm loud enough, if I get enough people to complain, I can get big companies to act in the way that I see fit. That's kind of how I see this. Wizard West, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right. So we don't have to spend the entire live stream on that, but I definitely wanted to bring it to your attention. When this live stream ends, I will put links to some of the related articles and posts on Twitter so you can check it out and see what that's all about. But otherwise, if you have any questions relating to YouTube and your channel, you can tag at Creator Fundamentals, and I'm happy to answer those for you. I'm also thinking about just doing 60 minutes tonight as opposed to 90 minutes. We're going to give that a try, see how it goes. I did a live interview earlier today, and May not be feeling a full 90. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm going to try to do 60 minutes. So Jeep YJ91 just tuning in and have no clue what we're discussing. So the topic on the thumbnail and the video was a little confrontation between VOX and Carlos-Maza and Steven Crowder. Basically kind of feuding back and forth in a little social media outrage that resulted in YouTube demonetizing a channel on YouTube. Traveling down the banisters, I know there are different cards for different, but do you recommend a decent price one for a very broke tuber? Different cards. Did I miss the beginning of that? Not sure. The Mr. L, can you make a Discord server? I actually have a Discord server. Captain Mario, do the best ways to get views. The best way to get views are to make thumbnails that entice people to come and watch your videos, and to make videos that people like watching that give them value, whatever type of value that you're providing. If you continue to do that and you take time to make thumbnails that are interesting and intriguing, you get people to click on your videos, then it's a process that takes some time to kind of build up momentum. You also want to look into keyword research to actually plan out your titles and the description and keywords that you're using on your videos. And then it's rinse and repeat. You got to get into that flow of making good thumbnails and relevant keyword phrases, and keep putting that content in front of people on a regular basis. Traveling down the banisters, what do you think is the right amount of time for a video? That's all going to be based on your audience. It's not so much the length of the video, it's how long you keep them watching the video. So that is really where you want to consider that the most, is how long can you get people to watch videos and how you can extend that watch time. Don't know anything about either, but thanks for the info. Yeah, I think it's something that will probably get a little more steam in the next couple of days. I know a lot of people put out videos on it today. One of the biggest being Philip DeFranco. So if you haven't seen if you're not familiar with Philip DeFranco, he does a daily news show with a couple videos a day. Definitely worth checking out his video on it that he put out today. And I think I saw one from Boogie2988 out there as well. So I think in the next few days, you're going to hear more and more about it. Hello, will you make more live after this? I do live streams every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So yes, I will do more lives. Yeah, as Doug mentioned, I had a Discord, but didn't find a ton of value in it for my particular audience. I was going to shut it down. It's still technically out there. I just don't interact with it, and I don't send people to it anymore. Kevin Boston, I have a question. I've been using GIMP, and the only issue I've been having is whenever I try and scale an image to make it bigger, after pasting something in it, it doesn't work. So if you paste something in GIMP, you have to make sure that you have the right layer selected, and then you can either scale the layer or you can scale the image. Make sure if you're just trying to resize the thing that you pasted, that you have the layer that you want highlighted, and then you go and actually go into the layer menu and scale the actual layer, and that's how you can resize it. All right, let's put that back over here. Hey, what's going on, Joe? Apps that rule. Not too much. talking a little YouTube drama. All right. And some random comments out there this evening. All right, so how are your YouTube channels going? Let me know in the comments how long you've actually been on YouTube and how many subscribers you have so far. Hey, Construction Cronies, what's going on, man? Good to see you. All right. Aloha's Vlogs, welcome. Just scrolling back, making sure I didn't miss any questions. Covered that one. I think we're caught up. Always favorite chat here. Okay, right. Good, good, good. Covered that, covered that, covered that. Let me know too how the image is coming through. This is actually, I'm actually live streaming with my DSLR this evening instead of my Logitech C920. Tell me if you can notice. JO Games, OMG, just visited your stream and you said hi. Is it Joe Games? Joe Games. All right. Wizard West 10 years, 379. And, oh, that Adrian. I've been on since 2012, but I made my channel in 2018. Awesome. I've noticed a lot of people have that, you know, because a lot of, especially early on in YouTube, people would create their YouTube channel to watch videos and then they're like, hey, I can make my own. So you usually see a gap between when somebody actually joined YouTube and when they actually start putting actual content up. So Captain Mario Dude, very sharp, looks nice. By the way, what DSLR is that? This is the Canon T7i. Harley, I'm finding the flashing colored lights a bit distracting. Let's see. Here you go, Harley. Poof! No blinking lights. Looking good was looking okay at 480. Oh, hopefully I'm streaming a little higher than 480. Let me know, guys, in the chat. What are you able to bump it up to 1080? Does it look good? It's always hit or miss with our service provider here. I actually wanted to look into whether any business class internet is available in my area. KRDP, I have a question. What if I made a thumbnail of a man or woman look like they are cutting open a box because I can't put myself in the thumbnail? Well, if you're not going to be on video, then there's really no reason to put a person on your thumbnail. I would just take a close-up picture of a hand, cut it into a box if you really wanted to use that as your thumbnail. Captain Mario Dude, mine is 60 frames per second, 1080p. Awesome. That should look pretty decent. Yeah, Harley, to adjust it, I don't know if you can see. Well, you can kind of see right here is where the wire to those LEDs actually comes out, and the button that changes the sequence I've actually covered in black tape, so I couldn't push the button to change the sequence. I can go as high as 720. It looks great. Awesome. Hello, you. My dad is 31. I am older than your dad. Mm-mm-mm. Doug Houston says 47. I am 42. If we're sharing ages. All right, I have grown from 36 to 336 thanks to you. I am seeing you at 1080/60. Awesome. Thank you so much for that feedback. I appreciate it. Analytical Chick says I'm on Team Crowder. You are younger than my grandparents. I hope I'm younger than your grandparents. Kevin Boston says 21. Oh. Now see, I was punished for trying to turn off that. Oh, bear with me. We almost took the place down. Just knocked over my iPad. Yowza. All right. Well, I guess you know what? I could use the iPad to. Don't know how well. I don't know if I. Pro freedom of speech here, so I'm with you on that analytical check. My biggest thing is always the hypocritical nature that gets involved in conversations like this, because it's one thing to complain about somebody, but if you're doing the same exact thing that you're complaining about, it's kind of hard to take you seriously. And when you come out and you say, hey, this person is making a personal attack against me, but your Twitter description literally has a personal attack against another person, I find that a little bit hypocritical. Well, I think the problem with that, Doug, is that anytime somebody makes a big enough stink about something, especially in this case, because they started targeting advertisers. So he basically went out and said, hey, if you're part of this community, reach out to advertisers and complain. And when you do that, you create a big crap storm, and then the advertisers are like, hey, you should do something about this. And I think a lot of times that forces the hand, which I don't like. I think it's the total cancel culture, and kind of a mob mentality thing that I don't think is very, very productive. Let's see. You got 10 years on me. My wife says you look great, so keep up what you're doing. Awesome. All right. Was hoping to create a channel and now no hope to get monetized. Do you believe that will actually happen? So a lot of people, monetization should not be your reason for creating a YouTube channel, nor does lack of monetization impact your ability to make money. If you make a channel on a topic that actually has value that people are looking for, then there's plenty of other ways to make money besides ad revenue. I mean, it doesn't hurt to get ad revenue by any stretch of the imagination, but ad revenue should not be your make or break on a YouTube channel. Do you know PewDiePie if has channel almost hit 10 years? I know he's somewhere around there. Okay. Dan said, cancel culture. Do you follow Jonathan Haidt? He wrote books about cancel culture and such. I'm not familiar with that person, no, but I'm familiar with the general concept of these days, every time somebody disagrees with somebody, there's a big swarm of activity demanding that somebody be fired or somebody be, deplatformed. All these things, I think, are just a little bit overkill. Kevin Boston, I have 1,000 hours. And you're getting there. Is it true only 3% reach 10K? I know somebody put out some stats on that a while back. I don't know that off the top of my head. Let's see. And what happens when they go after your Patreon, Creative Fundamentals, or your bank account, or the e-stores where you sell your merch? I think that's kind of that's a real challenge. And you need to be 18 years old to get money from YouTube. Yeah, you definitely to manage an account or a YouTube channel. You do. Well, I think you have to have a channel at least 18 or 13 in the U.S. and to have an AdSense account, you'd have to be 18. Oh, this chat. I'm trying to see if I can make this chat. That doesn't work. Let's try this. There we go. That's much better. Tell my eyes are getting tired. I couldn't read the chat. I think you missed my questions. Do likes or dislikes matter? Engagement definitely matters. It given the ability to see that people are responding to your video, that people are engaging with your video. So yes, it definitely matters. To what degree it matters? Who's to say? I think the most important thing is that you keep people watching your videos as long as possible. I think that's the most important metric. Hey, Doug Hewson, if you think stuff is like way out there, feel free to drop the hammer. If they're not related to the conversation. So anything YouTube is inbounds, and anything related to this story is inbounds, provided it doesn't get too crazy. Right. The important thing, Analytical Chick, is that it's the parents who enter into the legal agreement as far as the channel goes. So whether the parents agree to do that for their children and let their children, function on the channel is one thing, but it's the parent, the adult, that's actually responsible. I will just create to generate info to the public. Just believe that getting monetized would move it forward faster. It really, monetization doesn't. If you're providing value, then you can find other opportunities to go above and beyond the monetization. Again, I'm not saying it's great to not be monetized, but at the same time, it is something that you can overcome and make money that way. All right. And again, if you guys have any questions, just tag at Creator Fundamentals. There's an S on the end of Fundamentals. Central Florida Prepper, I use Pixel Lab for thumbnails, but TubeBuddy doesn't see it as high resolution. I would imagine that would be based on the actual format that you're saving it. I haven't actually used Pixel Lab, so I don't know what the export options are once you've actually created something, but my thought would be that you're not exporting in the proper resolution. I would try to go 1920 by 1080. Kevin Boston 7, if I was 8 years old and I was your son and I said to you, Dad, I want a YouTube channel, what would your response be? I know that sounds weird, but I'm just curious. So I actually have, here, you know what? I'll show you something. Let's see. That. Not that there's a ton of content on it, Kevin, but that's my son's channel. So I would say, sure, let's set up a YouTube channel for you. Unfortunately, we don't have any time to put towards it, but yeah, I try to avoid the whole political thing. Sometimes things just stand out. It's usually the hypocritical stuff that really catches my eye. And when I saw this story and I was looking into it and I saw that the guy who was complaining is literally libeling another person by calling him a supremacist, I'm like, that seems kind of contradictory to how this should all be playing out. All right. Hey, Sparks, Family TV, how you doing? He has a channel with a relative with a channel blowing up. I'm not sure who that was. Who that was for. Captain Mario, dude, I'm not sure if we're going to get into any channel reviews today. We'll see. Uno Raptormon. The VOX v Crowder thing is nearly 100% political. It certainly feels very political in nature, because that just seems how the whole political scene now is kind of built that way. So I wouldn't disagree with you there. My concern is when that whole political world feeds into the creator community and starts to impact us and what potentially we can do. Oh yeah, my niece has a YouTube channel that kind of exploded. She did animation videos on a app called Gotcha Life, and she actually got her 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in a week. 1 week. Jeep YJ91, remember you said 60 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna do from till 10 o'clock. Rizzo, Cinema Gaming, any channel banner maker recommendations? I use GIMP to make mine. GIMP is a free software that you can use. You can get the template that YouTube provides in terms of how to organize your channel art on my website, creatorfundamentals.com, under tools. Or you can use a site like Canva. I think they have a channel art template there as well. I just don't know how good it is. Hey, you do it. What's going on, man? All right. And Spark Family TV doing great. About to play Roblox with Brendan and Sissy. Just wanted to stop in and show support. I will be going live tonight for our content creator hangout. Awesome. Enjoy playing Roblox. Just be careful. My kid got a Roblox gift card for some holiday or whatever, and he put it in his account. And when he logged back into his account, somebody had stolen all of his money. They somehow, I don't even know how they did it. They managed to create products in Roblox and somehow control his money to the point where they emptied his account. So it can be a little scary out there in Roblox land. Traveling down the banisters, I've stopped trying to monetize and just started trying to improve my channel. I am just trying to learn and improve videography skills. I know I have a lot to learn. Yeah, what I like to say is for your first 100 videos, focus on the content and trying to make better content. Don't worry about subscribers. Don't worry about watch hours. All of that stuff. I actually just put out a video. I think it went out this morning. How to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. And you'll notice in that video I talk about how you shouldn't be focused on trying to do either one of those things. If you focus on the content, getting better over time, all that stuff will fall into place. Do a video on how to get a video to 100K. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a couple different ways to get a video to 100K. I personally prefer the search optimization approach, but getting a video to catch on and suggested can also be helpful as well. Traveling down the banisters, I watched it this morning. Thank you for the watch. Appreciate it. All right. Hey, let's play RC. Good to see you. And just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody who might have popped in. View to a grill. How's it going? John Rocks. What's in Michael's bag? SJG Perspective. Good to see everybody in this stream this evening. For those of you who popped in the stream late, I will be putting links to some of the drama between VOX and Carlos-Maza and Steven Crowder and Louder with Crowder. For those of you who don't know, Steven Crowder's channel was demonetized after Carlos kind of went on a Twitter tirade demanding that YouTube take action. Let's Play RC. Canva is good, but the channel art template does not work well. You still need to tinker to fit properly in mobile. So anytime that I upload a change to my channel art, I literally upload it. I click on trim. It allows you to create the little box of what's going to show up on mobile, and then if it doesn't fit right, I'll make a tweak and upload and adjust and cancel it out and keep going until everything fits right, and then I'll actually do the save. So yeah, the answer is always making better content. No matter where your content is now, you always want to strive to make better content. If you're sitting around thinking that your content is good, then you're not in the right mindset to continue to be successful on YouTube. You always have to look for ways to make things better. All right, see a lot of people using Canva. Used to use Canva, now use Photoshop. Again, GIMP. You can do a search for GIMP, GIMP. It's a free Photoshop-like software that allows you to do a lot of the things that Photoshop does, but it's completely free. I think there might even be another software out there that's the same kind of situation. Analytical chick, why don't you just use a template on a spare layer and then delete it? Because the template's not perfect. So even if you look good on the template, you don't necessarily look the way you want to look on mobile. So that's why. But in certain cases, I have done that for clients' work. If you take if you put the template as a layer in GIMP or Photoshop, you can set the transparency on it to like 50%, and then you can see the outlines of the different platforms or the different device types, and then that allows you to kind of line everything up. But I found that it's not quite. You can't just rely on the borders it provides. You still want to tweak it a little. Analytical Chick says paint.net emphatically. I slowed down my upload schedule so I could improve the quality of my content, or at least try to improve it. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for focusing on quality, and I'm actually going to be working on a collaboration to that effect that we'll put out in the not too distant future that'll talk about that. Is it Krita or Krita and Fire Alpaca are free and mostly better than GIMP. There's also Inkscape for vector-based graphics that is also free. Yeah, you'd have to tell me what's better about them than GIMP. I've been using GIMP for a few years, so hey Sean, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you coming and hang out. Yeah, working midnights does not sound fun. Kevin Boston, okay, this is a very broad question and it's not very specific, but what is your best editing tip? Best editing tip? That's an interesting question. That is kind of broad. So the best editing tip I think is in when I basically do jump cuts in my videos, and the goal on that for me is to cut the video the moment I stop talking. Sometimes you'll see people that do edits where they'll be like, hey, or they finish a sentence and then there's too long of a pause between that and when they cut to the next one. And then you don't quite get the effect you're looking for, which is just kind of a smoother transition into the next clip. So I pay special attention when I'm trimming two different clips together to make sure as soon as I finish a statement, I trim the video there, and then I make sure that the next clip starts right as I start to speak, to make sure that transition looks good. Arthur Moorhead, ever use Elementor templates? I have not. I'm not sure what that is. Hannah's Corner. I have 3 series set up. One is pricey. One is real life getting better. A teaching one. With the latest series, I have it as hard to come up with unique ideas, video, not just be a copy. I don't understand what the pricey thing means. One is real life getting better. A teaching. Are those the titles of them? Is pricey a title? Let's let's take a peek at something here. Maybe it'll give me context. So the one thing that I would say, if you're going to set up a series or do series of videos on YouTube, don't name your video titles the name of the series to the point where all your videos are going to have the same name. You can do some type of differentiation in your videos to identify that certain videos are from certain topics, but I would try not to do all your videos with the same titles. All right, here. Let's play RC. I've had some feedback that says some pauses in speech on videos can seem more real. I guess that depends how they exist. Like, I don't remove pauses from complete thoughts. This is when I'm taking two different concepts and I'm putting them together. So like if I was completing a sentence and I was thinking about it and I kind of pause in speech, I don't edit those out typically unless I had a bunch of ums in there. But I do, when I'm jumping from one thought to another, those are the transitions that I want nice and sharp. Analytical chick, instead of doing series name and episode name, I might actually do a title that relates to the content of that particular video, and then if you must, then you would put this, I would put the series name at the end of the title. Who else is watching Malcolm in the Middle? I didn't realize Malcolm in the Middle was still on. Yeah, the ums, depending on how frequently they happen, I will sometimes edit them out, sometimes I don't. Have a good night, Joe. Take care. Dirty Shoes Adventures, welcome to the live stream. Good to see you. All right, we're going to wrap up here in about 10 minutes. So if you guys have any questions that we can answer, definitely throw them in the chat. Not going to get to any channel reviews this evening, but if you are looking for a channel review and you're trying to improve your channel, definitely consider coming back and visiting us next Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, where we'll return to our normal format, which is Q&A and channel reviews. I would encourage you to click the subscribe button and bell notification so you're alerted when that live stream gets scheduled next week. But the final 9 minutes we have here, if you have any specific questions or anything YouTube related that you want to talk about, definitely tag me in the chat and we will talk about it. Ever execute thought on defining a value proposition for a vlogging channel? I find this to be very challenging. Question from Scott. So I think the vlogging channels that tend to be the most successful aren't people who are just walking around making a video and then trying to piece it together into something interesting and posting it online. I think they are deciding on a story to tell, and then recording shots that tell the story. Um, I think the big difference there is whether you are planning a topic and then filming to support it, or filming all day and trying to turn that into something watchable. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong in vlogging. Not to say, I guess if you have a really exciting life and you're recording it, you can put a cool video together. But I think it becomes harder to tell a compelling story when you are filming and then trying to figure out what to do with it, rather than the pros out there that are actually deciding on a story and then going out and getting the footage to tell that story. But like, you could do a daily vlog and still make it about a product or service. Um, you could do like a tech channel vlog style, like Casey Neistat, where you're trying out um, boosted boards and things like that, and providing feedback. Dirty Shoes Adventures, in regards to cards, I understand people say to use them. However, do they not direct folks away from the video they are currently watching? So what I've actually started doing on the cards is I don't put cards in my videos anymore unless I am specifically directing people to click on the cards. Uh, and I usually try to do it towards the end of the video. The other way to use cards would be to look at an existing video and find the area where people are dropping off anyway, and then you put a card just after or just at that point to try to recapture some of those viewers. If you have a video that gets like 2 minutes in and then everybody falls off the cliff and stops watching the video, put a card there that suggests them another video they might be interested in to try to grab them before they leave and get them watching a different video. All right. Analytical Chick still trying to build some support for paint.net. All right, and where are we at here? um, little side conversation about cricket out there. Captain Mario Dude says he's good at cricket. Automotive vlogs seem to do well. I don't use cars anymore either. They don't seem to help. Do you have any hobbies that you can make videos about? Let's see. Harley, have a good night. Take care. Thanks for coming and hanging out. All right. So, Central Florida, prepper, bad storm here. Keep getting disconnected. We had a couple crazy storms roll through here. My parents were camping up north, and lightning hit so close to their camper it tripped breakers. So definitely stay safe down there. I'm assuming the bad storms in Central Florida based on your name. So take care in that regard. Sam, I am legend. Bye, everyone. And Creator Fundamentals, you have yourself a good night. We are rolling up on 10 p.m. So any last questions, get them in there quick. Otherwise, be sure to click that subscribe button and the bell so we can hang out again this time next week. Like I mentioned, I put out a video earlier today on how to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. So if you haven't watched that, I definitely recommend you stop over to the channel or stay on the channel when the live stream ends and go check that video out for sure. So, just a few minutes left. What is this all about? Cartoonist cicadas. So thank you for coming and stopping by the live stream. I'm assuming by the question you might be new to the live stream. My name is Dan Currier. I help simplify YouTube through content that teaches you how YouTube works and how you can use it to grow a channel. The topic of the conversation tonight was VOX versus Steven Crowder, and it has to do with VOX and their reporter Carlos Maza, I think, basically demanding that YouTube punish Steven Crowder for comments that he made that were insulting to Carlos. As a result, YouTube has demonetized Steven Crowder's channel. Captain Mario Dude, bye to you as well. All right, wrapping up, guys. Hit that like button on the way out. I do appreciate it. It's been fun as always, and we will see you guys next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, here on Creator Fundamentals. Take care. Have a good night. I'll see you in the next one.